Now on Denver 7 News, a Denver street turns into a river.
My car is underwater in the garage. It's not something you can plan for.
The long-term nightmare that will follow for homeowners.
Plus, a cultural battle on the idea of changing someone's sexual identity.
A lot of people deny that this is happening, and I am standing here today as someone who experienced it.
How one group says the ban on conversion therapy in Colorado doesn't go far enough.
And one step closer to affordable preschool. A new bill will save Colorado families thousands of dollars.
Go Nuggets! Let's go! All day, let's go! Woo!
And by the skin of their teeth, the Nuggets beat the Golden State Warriors in Game 4 of the playoffs. We have the highlights and the reaction from fans.
Thank you for joining us for Denver 7 News at 10. I'm Jacqueline Allen.
And I'm Bayan Wang. We begin tonight with a do-or-die game for the Denver Nuggets. We were watching this. This came down to the wire here. The team clawing their way to victory, keeping their playoff dreams alive.
So exciting. Let's get right to Denver 7 Sports Director Lionel Bienvenu. Lionel, a win's a win.
Yeah, it was win or stay home. Elimination game. Either you're embarrassed by a sweep or you live to fight another day. And the Nuggets fought hard until the end. And there is life after Game 4. You saw it right here on Denver 7. What a fantastic finish. Came down to the last seconds, tied at 121 with 40 to go. Monte Morris scored 24 points, and the Nuggets took the lead by 2. And then here's the dagger from Will Barton, of all people, the three-pointer. He only had 6 points in the game, but that iced it. The Nuggets win 126-121 and force a Game 5 in this series. That's back in San Francisco on Wednesday night.
I'm just so proud of our guys, man. The thing that was keeping me up at night, aside from my daughters going to a prom, was just I didn't want to get swept. I did not want to get swept. You know, there's something about getting swept that just eats at you at your core. So I'm thrilled that we're still alive. We're not satisfied, but we can regroup and head out to San Francisco and try to find a way.
You didn't get swept, Michael. It's all's well tonight, but they're still down 3-1. But 2 years ago in the playoffs, the Nuggets were down 3-1 twice and came back to beat the Jazz and the Clippers. So anything can happen. Nick Rothschild has a complete report from Ball Arena coming up in sports at 10:35.
All right, we'll see you guys soon. And with such a tight game, Nuggets fans were ecstatic to see their team survive another day.
Denver 7's Danny New hung out with fans outside Ball Arena, relieved and hopeful.
What did you think of the game?
I thought it was awesome.
You gonna win in 7?
Oh yeah, easy, no brainer, yeah.
Nuggets showed their character, and we're gonna take it to San Francisco, and we're gonna win over there and come back for Game 6.
All right, Dad.
Go Nuggets! Let's go! All day, let's go! Woo!
How was the game, buddy?
Good.
What was your favorite part?
When Stephen Curry missed all his threes.
Oh.
Let's go Nuggets!
I love you, Mom.
I love you, Nikola Jokic.
What about his mom? Do you love his mom?
Oh, I love your mom too, baby.
Tell him about how big of a Nuggets fan you are.
Oh, I am so big, it's amazing. I'm almost 92, and I have been a season ticket holder for hundreds of years almost.
And you guys are gonna win the whole series, right?
Yeah.
Gotta love it. Go Nuggets. All right, the cleanup continues tonight in Denver's Berkeley neighborhood after a water main break this morning flooded multiple homes and left behind a muddy and costly mess. As Denver 7's Patrick Perez reports, between water damage and possible mud concerns, this is going to be a long-term nightmare for many of these homeowners.
This is what residents living along and near Perry Street in Denver's Berkeley neighborhood woke up to Sunday morning. A constant flow of water downstream after a 24-inch water main break that lasted for several hours, piquing the interest of many.
And then within like 3 or 4 minutes, the street was flooded.
Jacob Parcel spoke with us by phone from the front porch of his home as it wasn't safe at the time to get to him.
It's basically a complete flood. Cars underwater.
The water main break didn't just flood cars, it also flooded multiple homes. This cell phone video shows the speed at which the water entered the basement of this house on Osceola Street.
I opened the garage door and it's just like this water rushed in. I knew something was wrong.
Josh and Aaron Maitland say the floodwater was just 4 steps away from the main level.
We just tried moving stuff up from the basement, just try to save what we could.
Multiple restoration crews contracted by Denver Water were staged nearby, ready to help pump water out of people's homes.
Denver Water does have a main break customer service policy that we work with customers through to help them out when a situation like this does occur.
Travis Thompson, spokesperson for Denver Water, says the size of the pipe and how much water flowed through it is why it took so long for it to drain.
24-inch pipe has a lot of water running through it, so sometimes it takes a while to get that water completely drained out and isolated to make it safe for us to be able to go in and make the repairs we need.
The aftermath shows the damage and mess the water main break caused. From washing out parts of the road to leaving cars stuck in about a foot of mud. The work here is just beginning.
It's not something you can plan for.
All right, take a look at this video. Thousands of acres burned in eastern Colorado, destroying a sanctuary and cattle ranch nearby. Fire spread 10 miles in an hour, and it destroyed 50 miles of fencing at May Ranch yesterday. We spoke with owner Dallas May tonight. He says 2 cattle were actively giving birth during the fire. As the flames got closer, it was a community-wide effort to move them.
We were down there pushing the cattle up out of there, and that's as much as we could do just right in front of the fire. So we'd push them up out of there, us and the guys who typically help us. And once they got out of there, we didn't know what happened to them.
Now, May also tells us the portion of that ranch dedicated to enabling the endangered black-footed ferret to make a comeback was not touched by flames. Governor Polis and Colorado Agriculture Commissioner Kate Greenberg have both offered to help with recovery.
Here in Colorado, the training just never stops for our state's firefighters, so you may notice some helicopters flying around the Denver metro. The Colorado Division of Fire Prevention and Control is hosting helicopter-based training exercises today with the Colorado Army National Guard. Crews will be flying all over the metro, taking off from Vance Brand Municipal Airport and Buckley Space Force Base. Officials say the main goal of this exercise is to make sure crews have a realistic and comprehensive response when disaster strikes. The Environmental Protection Agency is going after Colorado's neighboring states to reduce the greenhouse gas emissions they produce. This comes after the EPA announced that Denver and the Northern Front Range would be downgraded to severe violators of federal ozone standards. The EPA's proposed measure would force Utah, Wyoming, and Nevada to reduce emissions from their power plants and industrial manufacturing sites. California would need to cut emissions from other industries. National models show those states' emissions are blowing across the West and into the metro Denver area, adding to the already bad ground level ozone pollution. Today, an important discussion about conversion therapy in Colorado. A group of people gathering in Boulder to claim the state law banning the practice just doesn't go far enough.
Some context here. Colorado law bans psychiatrists and other licensed mental health care providers from practicing conversion therapy on anyone under 18 years old with the threat of disciplinary action.
Conversion therapy involves efforts to change an individual's sexual orientation, including efforts to change behaviors or gender expressions. Denver 7's Colette Bordelon attended a vigil where many called for change.
You belong.
More than 2 years have passed
Flowers.
since Carissa Chen has seen her younger sister.
A song, a memory, a flash of something will just hit me.
Reminding her of Alana Faith Chen.
Got the call from my dad.
Saying her sister had died by suicide.
Yeah, I think I knew that was a possibility.
Alana died just after her 24th birthday.
It all started way before, at 13.
Her family says she was conflicted by her religion and who she was.
She mentioned she's something like, I think I'm attracted to girls. And then he went on to teach her that it was a mortal sin, she could go to hell.
On behalf of the church, the Archdiocese of Denver sent a statement saying no conversion therapy was ever performed there. But before the vigil, a conversation about conversion therapy was discussed by a panel in Boulder.
A lot of people deny that this is happening, and I am standing here today as someone who experienced it.
People like Christopher Dowling, who says he lived through it while in Texas.
It's when you begin to think that you can receive prayer and healing in a certain way that eventually your orientation would be changed.
Speakers continuing to say the ban on conversion therapy in Colorado doesn't go far enough.
So if you're a licensed therapist, the law will outlaw that therapist practicing conversion therapy, so the state could revoke your license. But if you are a religious figure, you're protected under the First Amendment of free speech.
They see it as more of a cultural battle, something that can't be banned with a new law, instead suggesting more attention on the subject.
I'm reaching across the aisle to the former me and people that I know and still love that are very much in disagreement about this very divisive issue.
While Alana's family faces life without her.
I'm getting married in September, so not having her be there will be difficult.
Fighting for a future they wish she could see. Colette Bordelon, Denver 7.
In a statement from the Archdiocese, they say they are deeply saddened by Alana's death. They want only the best for her family. They go on to say, if someone wants to better understand the Church's teaching on marriage and sexual relations, that they lovingly try to share with them what Catholics believe is God's design for sexuality. They say, quote, it is not conversion therapy to teach about the beauty of a life of chastity. Meanwhile, Alana's family has started a foundation in her name dedicated to LGBTQ people getting access to mental health care at either low cost or completely free.
All right, Universal Preschool is about to be the real deal here in Colorado. The last step happening this week that could save families thousands, and when you might be able to sign up your kids.
Plus, we told you about an Aurora family that lost everything in a fire. Denver 7 Gives viewers stepped up to help in a big way, and we've got the big reveal next.